skipping PE was such a thing because you were on your period, and everyone would be like, just say you're on your period. The boys in my school were horrendous. As soon as they found out I was on my period, they'd like take my bag, tip it upside down, use all of my, I had tampons and pads, they'd stick the pads to the walls, fire the tampons across the science room. So then when it came to PE, I'd be like, I've got nothing. So I'd like literally just use the barricade of toilet roll and just shove it under. And it's so weird because the amount of times that I did leak through and I'd go, I don't know what to do. Like, and then you'd have to wear spare whatever, like lost property. And there were so many things around 11 to 16. And now I know, having a daughter, like as in the education, like you said, from a young age, like she knows when I'm on my period. She goes, Mum, are you bleeding? I'm like, how do you know? Like, honestly, it's wild. I mean, obviously.
Oh, you're going crazy.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, Mom? You were nice yesterday. No. My patience evaporates. But I feel like that is such a key time for confidence, and like the changes are bizarre. Like if you don't have that motherly figure or that sisterly figure to go, look, this is exactly what's happening to your body. We still don't know what's going on. So if you don't have that figure or that role model that you could go like, okay, like my boobs are changing, I feel like my tummy's cramping or whatever. Of course, exercise is going to be the last thing you think about. And actually, I would say that now I know exactly when to train and what to train on my cycle. I am so involved in my cycle and know exactly what day that I don't do any weight training like leading up to my cycle, like for the like 5 days leading up, because I know that I will then have a heavier and more intense period and I'll feel awful. And I know that at 31 because I've almost experimented with my own body.
I think it's important in primary schools especially to get boys to like girls eventually will have to start wearing sports bras as they get older. And when the lads don't learn about it, so the young boys don't learn about it as well as young girls don't understand it in primary school, you know, the 5 to 11 year age group. And I think it's important that they understand that they start to train them from that age. You know, it's a part of your PE uniform that you wear a crop top when we're doing PE. So the girls understand it and why they start to having to wear that, for example. And boys understand that it's a thing that girls will have to eventually wear it because they start to grow boobs. And I think if they learn it in primary school, when it comes to senior school, they're more educated around the differences between males and female bodies.
If you understand your body, you know what you're looking for. If you haven't got the education, you actually don't physically understand what is happening. How can you then make decisions for yourself? Why do I feel down today? Why do I feel so tired today? If I'm a woman, actually, as you said before, it's 5 days before my period. Probably now is not the time to be running. Did they used to take that into account when you were exercising?
Really? Whenever you was on your period, it was okay. Oh, you'll feel better once you get going. So okay, great. But yeah, it was always you feel better. Stop making an excuse. They are looking at it and adapting it now. But certainly when I played, it wasn't. Mate, if you said you was on your period and couldn't train because I know your back wasn't feeling right or your legs were feeling heavy, or it was an excuse and you had to do it. You feel better once you get going. I feel 10 times worse now I've done it.
Playing football, you would have been playing with boys a lot. So was that a difficult thing for you? Could you talk openly about it when you were younger, or was it this thing that you had to kind of hide when you were around them?
Being on my cycle?
Yeah.
No, I definitely hid it. But you know what? It's funny because obviously when I was playing football, and you talk about when you're young, like when I didn't start my period till I was, I think, 14, 15, okay. So quite late. And I remember like having a sandwich towel and I was thinking, oh my God, like it just felt disgusting trying to play football and run around when you got to stretch and all it, and like, you know, like lunge for a ball. I was like, this is not okay. Went home to my mom and was like, Mom, I need to like try a tampon. You don't put it in properly. You don't really know what you're doing. My mom didn't use them and my older sister didn't use them. Right. So it was me trying something new and it was like the most uncomfortable. I was like, right, your mum tells you about all the side effects to, you know, and I'm like, yeah. And
it's like, the leaflet with the foot on the
So I go to the cage and obviously I haven't told anybody and I'm playing football and I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel dizzy. And I started to tell myself after reading the leaflet that I was having all these side effects to having it in. So it took me a really long time to then actually use tampons, which were actually more effective for me in sport because, as I said, with these, I used to call them nappy. It was like wearing a nappy. It was awful trying to do sport. But I was never comfortable talking about it with anyone, not even with girls, not even with like my girlfriends in school. Yeah. I was like, it wasn't even a topic that was spoken about. Nobody would ever really mention it.